Hi there, Eric Backer, naturopath. Thanks for coming back. I got a question from a subscriber called David Tollisson, and Mr. Tollisson wants to know if it's possible to get rid of Blastocystis Hominis without the use of antibiotics. If you can get rid of this parasite, basically just with diet alone. Anything is possible, David, anything is possible. Many people don't even believe blasto to be a problem these days. Many people actually are starting to think it could be part of a normal gut flora. But it is a parasite. It's a single cell organism. It's a parasite. It shouldn't really belong in the gut. But it's like anything. If you've got a town with a few criminals in it, it's usually okay. But when the criminal numbers exceed and the criminals get smarter, it becomes a problem. Right? Every city in every country has got criminals in it. You can't get rid of these kind of people, but you can reduce their numbers and keep them in check. And how do we do that? We do that by having a lot of good people around the bad people, if you get my picture. When there's a lot of good, okay, evil finds it hard to prevail. When there's lots of good around, it's very difficult. But when there's not a lot of good around, evil prevails. And we see that in many countries, unfortunately, today, that are getting really taken out by terrorists. It's quite sad. But the question is this: how is your health? If you've got quite good health and you've got blasto, it's not something you really want to concern yourself. All you really want to concern yourself in that case is improving your health to high levels to put the squeeze on these guys. And how you do that is correct through proper diet. Antibiotics are not desirable at all for parasites in any shape or form. I used to recommend some types of antibiotics up until a few years ago, but never recommend them anymore. I've seen far too many adverse reactions and too many people who take these drugs and don't get the end result they're looking for. They end up in deeper water than they were before. So I'm at a point now where I recommend no pharmaceutical antibiotics at all anymore for parasites. There are different ways to get rid of these guys, but you need to really understand it's not something that's going to happen over a couple of weeks. It could take 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, but your health should be starting to improve all along with the right kind of changes that you can make. So have a look at things like your lifestyle. I've talked a lot about that in this channel. I think it's one of the most important points for recovery is having a good life, a relaxed life, as stress-free as possible. Okay, many things may need to change here. Sometimes people can't attain great health until they've had great change in their life. So that's something I don't often hear spoken of. Everyone has got their own issues or problems they face. And these are the sort of things I like to see people tackle before they start taking drugs for conditions, that could be ameliorated by lifestyle or diet changes. There's enough discussion on this channel regarding healthy diet. I've also spoken about blasto treatment. There are many natural aids that work sufficiently well. Many medical doctors will be quick to argue and say that natural things don't work for parasites, but that's totally not true. They can work tremendously well, particularly if you eat the right kind of foods and avoid things like alcohol and avoid things like too much caffeine and sugar and all of the things we've discussed on this channel. It's totally possible to get the blasto numbers down to such a critical point that you're asymptomatic, meaning you don't have symptoms anymore. And if you keep projecting that forward for another 3 to 6 months, the blasto is out of the equation. It's gone. Stool test is a good way to determine if you've got this parasite or not. And the other question to you is, have you done stool testing? And furthermore, what were your levels of beneficial bacteria like? The more I study, the more I treat people, the more I realize the biggest problem we face is not the bad guys, it's a lack of the good guys. It's a lack of good levels of lactobacillus and bifidobacteria. These are the core issues that many people face. Many stool tests I see now, in fact, show that people have got almost, levels of beneficial bacteria so low they can't even culture them. I've seen these in hundreds and hundreds of cases, especially with parasite infections. I see this. And people pay lip service to probiotics. They don't take enough, they don't take them long enough, and they don't take the right kind of strains. These are big issues facing blastocystis, not what gun can I point at the bad guy to take him out. Because remember, what happens when you shoot something and you keep shooting it, you're bound to kill people around as well. So the whole idea is not to kill, but to inhibit reproduction and to increase the beneficial count. This is one of the smartest approaches, and in my opinion works the best for blasto. So I hope that gives you some information there. Thanks for the question.